Morning, sir. How you doing?
Good morning, Mark. Doing great here in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, man. Red hot popping action every day. All right, what does the shutdown mean to you? What can you not do today that you could do yesterday?
Well, we can't do certain events. The staff cannot. I can do my job, my constitutional job. I am here at D.C. I had meetings yesterday, but look, it's a misnomer, Mark. The government's not going to shut down. The essential functions are going to continue. My staff, vast majority of my staff are essential. We're going to be working here in the office. And I will tell you that only the non-essential functions of this government, the bloat that we've been talking about, are those things that will shut down. The average man on the street, woman on the street will not even notice this shutdown probably.
I have heard, and tell me how true this is, or whether we've yet to find out, that there's an idea from within the Trump administration that if we have a moment where we've taken some people who we've sort of identified as non-essential jobs, roles, things that government doesn't necessarily need to do, then maybe this is a teaching moment, a learning moment, where if there's a job that shouldn't exist under the taxpayer dime, then maybe here's an opportunity to get rid of it, period. Do you think that's going to happen?
Well, I do. In fact, we have a call with Russ Vogt today at 1 p.m.
Management and budget.
I'll be here in D.C. Through that call to see exactly what Russ's plans are. But yes, that is an idea that has been talked about now for several weeks.
When we go about that, what do the words mean? What might the kinds of government jobs, the kind of government functions be that come under the microscope that really just aren't essential? What kinds of things might we be looking to get rid of?
Well, I think we need to focus on the essential jobs, and that's what our people need to know, that the essential jobs will continue. Those are the first line providers, the VA, for instance. I'm on the Veterans Affairs Committee, of course. Very few of those will be let go. Obviously, Social Security, military will continue to operate, continue to defend our country. So really, I want to focus on the ones that will continue. Now, to your question, though, there are people that simply have, through inertia of the organizations, have been added over the years. We need to identify those and send them RIF notices, reduction in force notices. Again, we'll learn more from Russ Vogt this afternoon at 1 as to exactly who they have targeted.
So I think on your Twitter feed and various others, there have been a lot of labels of this, flat out calling it the Democrat shutdown. Why does that label stick?
Well, because the Republicans are in the strongest position we could ever have. We passed a clean CR. We passed a CR that continues spending, which is exactly what a continuing resolution should do until we get all of the bills passed, until we have an opportunity to actually work on appropriations bills as the law demands. So we're in a very strong position, and I encourage leadership to hold the line on this because of our strong position. When the Democrats started out demanding $1.5 trillion, basically undoing the one big beautiful bill, undoing the rescissions package, their demands were just egregious, were outrageous. So that's where we stand today, and I encourage leadership to stand firm because, as I say, what they are planning on doing with the reductions in force is exactly why Trump got elected. It's what he was elected to do. And I just encourage the leadership, do not start giving the Democrats what they want.
Congressman Keith Self is here. Last thing, sir, as someone who has served, I was very interested in your thoughts about the Pete Hegseth Donald Trump appearance before the 800 or so top military brass. I heard critics and naysayers and haters say, oh, how terrible it must have been to bring all those people in and berate them. It didn't seem uplifting. It was extremely uplifting to see a president and a secretary of war, love the new title, to see them come in and talk about standards, to talk about upholding serious standards for warfighters. I couldn't imagine anything more uplifting, but how did it strike you?
Well, it struck me as exactly what we needed, because remember, I went to West Point at the nadir of Vietnam, and over the next 16 years, we had to rebuild a land force to go into Desert Storm, which we did. So this is exactly what was needed. We needed to go before them and set the standards that have slipped, that they've almost disappeared. So this was exactly the tone that I think we need to rebuild the military to understand that we have to be prepared, and frankly, we have to be prepared pretty soon to go out and win another conflict, another war. So now, words don't make a lethal military. Now we need to back up those words with weapons systems and munitions and training standards and be ready to go, one, to deter, and if we cannot deter, go and win the next war.
Let me wrap up with a biographical point, because you just mentioned something that really stuck in my head. You, if I've got I know you were growing up for a lot and doing high school in Amarillo, but you again, it was the heat of the Vietnam debate. Did you graduate from high school in 70 or 71?
71.
And you know, we were in the middle of the embroilment of all kinds of Vietnam controversies.
We were.
What was it that led you? You sit down that said, you know what, I'm going to West Point. How did that come about?
Actually, my brother was 2 years ahead of me at West Point. And when he came home and said, you have to study, you have to march, you have to shoot weapons, you have to, all of these military things, I said, I want to do that. And once I got to West Point, I understood the magnitude of what we were trying to do to defend our nation. It was that was a dramatic time. That was a seminal time in my life, Mark, to go to West Point and understand the crucial nature of the military. We cannot lose a war. We must be prepared for the next war with the right weapon systems. And as you heard from the president in Hegseth, the right mentality, the right ethos.
And winning and losing and how you do those things. Again, if I've got my calendars right, Saigon fell just about as you were graduating.
2 months after I graduated, 2 months before I graduated, yep. Saigon fell. Over the next 16 years, we built 5 major weapon systems, which we couldn't do today. The big 5 in the Army. We built it to take the powerful force that we took to Desert Storm.
So you come out, where's first place you were stationed? So Saigon is Vietnam essentially over, and we didn't get the W there. Where was your first duty station in the Army?
Well, first of all, when I graduated from West Point, I was already an airborne ranger. I knew what I wanted to do. I'd been to airborne school. I'd been to ranger school as a cadet. Uh-huh. My first assignment was in the 82nd Airborne Division with the 2nd of the 325 and 2nd Brigade of the 82nd Airborne Division.
Fort Bragg?
Fort Bragg, absolutely.
My. Well, listen, I'm glad I asked those extra things, because it is about the path that we take to war fighting and the way to do it, and we are rediscovering the way to do it. And thanks for the update on Shutdown Wednesday and various other things. We always appreciate our visits.